There should be a lot more excitement about this football team coming into the season. Instead, we've been, I guess, hijacking our own selves, talking about the backup spot.
It also feels like unfairly we're judging them heading into this year based off of losing 3 of the last 4,
right?
At the very end of the race, if you will.
Right.
And I think the way it went down last year, it feels like, not even incomplete. It just feels like you're unsatisfied.
Right.
I also think that the Nick Bosa holdout is a part of it. I do. I think not having him, I bet, I'm not saying this to everyone, but I bet there are a big chunk of people like what's going on there?
Right. What is going on with Bosa? What is going on?
I mean, we're about a couple weeks away here, and
19 days. 19 days.
Anything?
19 days. We haven't heard much yet. Shanahan will speak today. So we'll hear. Hopefully, we'll get an update at some point of the week. We do need him with his teammates at this point. Need him around Drake Jackson. I get that, but again, if he gets here next week, good. If he gets here at the end of the week, good.
Yeah, but nothing? Like, not even a whisper?
What, isn't that a good thing?
I don't know.
I think that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing.
Why?
We always talk about leaks, right, within the organization. We always talk about staying tight-lipped and not having your business out there, or you don't want to negotiate with the public and have Adam Schefter reporting, hey, they're $7 million away, or Ian Rappaport, hey, they're $5 million away, or you get the local writer saying, boy, there's an impasse here with the contract negotiations. It's a good thing. Nothing is being said about the contract and the numbers and the details or whatnot. That is being kept private, and I applaud the 49ers by keeping that private.
Yeah, because they're too busy telling every reporter about their second and third string quarterbacks.
They're not telling it. All the reporters are reporting on this thing. We've really hyped this and propped this backup quarterback job
Schefter's
up.
talked about it.
Yeah, no
Mike
doubt.
Silver has written how many articles about it? Like, these are guys that are very linked to the organization and claim to have sources.
Keep the attention off the Bosa contracts.
Ian Rappaport's been all over it. So
Keep the attention off the Bosa contracts.
The Bosa thing aside, they've been very leaky. Like, if we're being 100%. I mean, but we're still adjudicating whether they wanted to take Justin Fields, Mac Jones, or Trey Lance.
Well, again, that's not coming from the 49ers. That's coming from sources. And even that NFL, NFL rumor mill, I have no idea who runs that account. I have no idea where that account came from. Spinoni, if you got the Tony Pauline sound, I think Tony Pauline joined Guru and Allen on Friday.
Who is Tony Pauline?
He's the guy who said the deal is complicated between Bosa and the 49ers. Now,
well, how did he find out that?
I had never heard of Tony Pauline before. You know what I'm saying? Never heard of him before. Okay. He covers the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How does he know what's going on with Nick Bosa? So I think personally, the fact that we haven't heard anything about the terms is a very good thing for the 49ers. I don't want this negotiation to be public. Hey, when he signs, he signs.
So
and when he
curious,
gets here, he gets here.
At what point are you going to be a little concerned?
I told you already. How many times I got to repeat myself? The week of the game, September 10th, right? September 10th.
He's just going to cruise on in.
If he's not here by that week, then I'm going to freak out and say, damn, we all got a Bosa. Damn it, there's no Bosa. If he's back by that week, game on, he's ready to go week 1. He's putting on number 97, and he's getting after Kenny Pickett.
Can you at least meet me here? We can make all the arguments about how he can walk in and be prepared day one. For a team looking to win a Super Bowl that's all in for the now, it's not a good sign. It's not the end-all, be-all, but it's not a good sign.
Is it a good sign for Kansas City that Chris Jones
No, it's not good for them.
Why is it not good?
Because they want to repeat.
Right.
They want to go back-to-back.
So why is it not good, though?
It's not good for them. I guarantee.
Why?
As an outside observer,
they still
I'm
have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce.
Yeah, but
that offense isn't slowing down.
They're not winning the Super Bowl without Chris Jones.
Yeah, no doubt. But they'll get Chris Jones, and if Chris Jones gets there by week 1, guess what? We're talking about, boy, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be tough again.
But if they start off and they don't get that first bye, it's going to make things more difficult for themselves.
The lazy analysis would be, oh, my God, Chris Jones held out and then put a dirt cloud over this football team.
No, I just look at Kansas City. They host a lot of playoff games. A lot. Like, that is part of what's made them great. It's part of what made New England great.
Right.
Like, being in that different, because obviously I think the AFC West is better than what the AFC East was during Brady's time. But like Bonta, it's almost indisputable. New England hosted a ton of games in the playoffs forever, and I feel like Arrowhead has been the host city for playoffs, 5 years in a row? I mean, they've been the number 1 or number 2 seed how many years in a row now?
Yeah, but you're assuming they're going to start off slow.
Well, because they need Chris Jones.
Start off slow. Yes, of course they need Chris Jones. They know that, and the Niners need Bosa. And the Rams, when they had Aaron Donald, they needed Aaron Donald. And Aaron Donald damn near put out a DPOY type of season after holding out 2 years in a row. He held out 2 years in a row. And it did not affect his play whatsoever. It actually made his play even better when he got back
won it
later.
1 year?
So, yeah, it was one more year than the Niners.
That's true.
One more year than the Niners. So, Aaron Donald has the jewelry, and he's held out twice, and he got his money. So, again, if he gets back the week of September 10th, it's all good. And we're not talking about it, Deke. Instead, we will embrace Nick Bosa's back.
If he gets a muscle strain or some sort of soft core tissue injury, we are going to reference that back again. It's not going to just die just because he showed up. Any little misstep will be identified.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
I mean, that's just what people do.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. If he gets back and he comes out in the first game and has 2 sacks, nobody's going to be talking about the holdout again.
Is he in Florida? Is he in California? Do we even know where he is?
Call his dad. I don't know.
Who's his agent? I'm surprised. We heard so much about Don Yee during the Jimmy G thing.
See, and that's a good thing.
Let me ask you.
Whoa. You just brought up something, Don Yee.
What?
How much did it drive you crazy that Don Yee was in the news? How much did it drive you crazy? I sat up here and listened to you scream and yell about Don Yee being this poser. Oh, he's stripping the 49ers. He's doing this for Jimmy. Don Yee's a clown. Yada, 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 yada. You couldn't stand that.
Yeah.
So Bosa's agent is completely quiet.
Yeah, but there's no movement. It's not even about being quiet. I'm just saying, where is this guy?
We don't even know what movement it is. Do you know that there's movement? We don't know. We don't know.
It's August 22nd, and the best player on the defense isn't here.
But it's a negotiation.
These things don't get done. They should have been negotiating all offseason.
You don't think they did? You don't think they tried? You think they just said all summer long, you know what? We'll just wait till training camp to negotiate with Bosa. The difference between
Bosa and Jimmy G is that Jimmy G had specific language with opt-outs, and because of his injury, there was guaranteed money that they were going to be on the hook for. The Bosa thing, they've been staring this in the face. Like, let's just say, mid-December of last year, you had a pretty good feel that he wanted to get paid to be the highest paid defensive player ever. Then he wins the defensive player of the year, right? Like, what's the holdup? Either you want to keep him or you don't. I don't understand.
You don't think the Niners want to keep him because of this holdout?
I just don't understand how they're this far off.
You think the Niners are considering trading Nick Bosa?
I don't know what's up.
Shasky, are you serious? Do you believe that
we play our third preseason game on Friday? All right, we play the third preseason game Friday. I would like the best player on the planet on defense to be with the Niners. I'm not saying he has to play in the game. I just want him at practice working against Colton McKivitz, working against Trent Williams. Like, you tell me Colton McKivitz, a guy who's going to start at right tackle for the first time in his career as a starter, couldn't use a little bit of Nick Bosa lining up against him?
Let's go to Joel in Lodi. Joel, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, good morning, fellas. Hey, enjoying the conversation, but just a little grist for the mill here, so to speak. You guys think the possibility could be that Chris Jones is holding out to see what Bosa signs for, or Bosa could be holding out to see what Chris Jones signs for, so someone sets the market price and it goes up from there?
That was something we touched on the first week, Joel, was that maybe he is waiting on Chris Jones. Maybe he is waiting because Chris Jones probably wants Aaron Donald money after winning 2 Super Bowls and being in the hunt for DPOY. That could very well be the case that, hey, we're not going to budge until that guy budges. So it's a good point, Joel.
Yeah, who's going to be the first to blink? You know what I mean? Thanks, guys.
Anytime. Hey, whoa. Ah, man. What did he? Let me know when you got the Tony Pauline side. I want to hear what he had to say about Bosa.
Like, I'm not asking sincerely.
Oh, great.
What is complicated?
Don't know. These are millions of dollars you're dealing with.
Well,
maybe there's sack incentives. Maybe there's award incentives. Maybe there's bonuses for DPOYs. Maybe there's bonuses for Pro Bowls.
Have we considered that the Niners may not have the money in escrow to be able to give to him currently?
They've got the money.
They just invested in a soccer team.
They've got the money.
I think it's fair to ask out loud.
They've got the money. I could promise you they've got the money.
All right. You need to have $100 million ready to go to put in escrow.
This team has the money.
They just invested in a soccer team.
Now they're broke. You know how much?
No, I'm not saying that they're broke. No, that's a different.
You know how many millions they've made, and you know how many millions Jed York has invested back into this football team.
I know it's $500 million they've signed their own players.
Yeah, exactly.
But they get a $250 million check every single year from the television deal that covers payroll. But my point is, like, What are they so off? What is so complicated? Is it years? You're saying specific language regarding sacks?
It could be. I'm just speculating. I have no idea. Because they haven't leaked anything, which is a great thing. They're not negotiating in public. They're negotiating in good faith behind the scenes, and nobody said anything. Lynch hasn't budged. Marate hasn't budged. But you know who's going to pay the money and write the check? Jed York.
Bonta.
He stepped. Hold on. Joe Lacob. What does he do?
Yeah.
He steps up and writes the check, right? No matter what. What has Jed York done over the last 7 years? He stepped up and write the check.
Yeah.
Any player that they've wanted, they have re-signed. Whether it's Debo, whether it's George Kittle, whether it's Fred Warner, whoever it is, Jimmy Garoppolo, you name it, Trent Williams.
And this guy's better than all those guys.
Okay, and they're gonna get the deal done.
And they've known this for like 3 years. This isn't something that came around. Like, he didn't have like a 1 year wonder. Like, even the Debo thing last year.
You also had Brendan Ayuk.
I understand being a little worried about signing Debo. It's like, he had the one great year. He has been hurt a lot. Like, I can understand wide receivers, like, the market's out of control. On a team like this, now that you have McCaffrey, it's a little different. But how much of a running back money do you give him? How much wide receiver money? Like, that one seems more complicated than Bosa.
Do you really think the 49ers?
No, I'm just saying. Like, if we're just asking, like,
no. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do you really believe they don't have the money to sign Nick Bosa?
No, I believe there's something going on. Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Okay.
I think they're farther apart than people want to admit.
All right, and
I think the fact we've heard nothing, I think that is something.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything.
It would be.
I don't think
when
it's
Debo
anything.
when Debo was holding out, he was at practice.
He was
wearing
at practice.
Niner gear.
But
I
this
watched
is the
him
Bosa.
on the sideline.
But this is the business of Bosa. This is the business of Bosa.
So that doesn't worry you?
No, it doesn't.
That's a contradiction.
Did Joey Bosa make it to week 1 for the Chargers?
Joey Bosa?
Did Joey Bosa not make it to week 1 for the Chargers?
This is Nick. I don't care about Joey.
But the Bosas have done this before.
I don't judge Derek Carr off what David Carr did.
The Bosas have held out before. They have held out.
So that should worry you.
No, it doesn't. Because they were there by week 1. And when Joey held out as a rookie, he strained his hamstring. And when he got back by week 4, guess what he did against the Raiders? He wrecked the freaking football game. He wrecked it. So you're worried about whether? First, I've heard you say the Niners are broke.
No, I said, do the Niners? Do the Niners not have
the money?
So you're not even. Do the Niners have the $120 million or whatever he wants in guarantees to put in escrow? The reason why Khalil Mack was traded was because they didn't have the money in escrow. Now,
so the Niners are Raiders. All of a sudden, the Raiders are a mom and pop shop.
$500 million soccer team.
Oh my God! That has nothing to do with anything. Jed York, the money he makes with the 49ers, he reinvested the team over and over again. I don't know what else you need to see. Fred Warner, what did he get? He got an extension. Trey Greenlaw, what did he get?
Yeah, but we're
he got
talking
an extension.
$40 million on those. We're talking guarantees that are $1/3 of what he's looking to get.
They're printing money at Levi Stadium. They're printing money. Did they not have the most revenue last year, ticket revenue last year, the 49ers? They are a walking dollar bill. They will get the Nick Bosa deal done. And if they don't, by the week of the Pittsburgh game, I will come on these airwaves and say, I am wrong. But I don't get any. Why? Okay, if you want to be concerned, that's fine. But you're questioning whether or not they got the money in escrow.
What happens, I see on a
not,
timeout. See, you're not. No. There's a difference, and I've told you this 5 times. There's a difference between revenue and there's a difference between what you have actually in the bank.
And they've got plenty of money in the bank, Shasky.
For example,
do they not have money in the bank?
There's a reason why the Washington owner, the guy who just purchased the Washington football team, had to get Saudi investment money because he physically did not have the down payment money that you absolutely need to have to keep the revenue flowing because he's got money spread out all over the place. I'm not saying that they don't have money. What I'm saying is sometimes it becomes very difficult because of the cash flow of what you've spent on other things to not physically have the $120 million ready to roll. And if so, what are we waiting for?
So you don't believe they have the money?
I'm just asking what could be the plausible reasons why they're so far off.
Who knows?
What makes it so complicated?
It's a complicated deal.
Are they waiting for their first television check?
Oh, yes.
No, I'm asking.
Oh my God. That's how we're going to start this off today. Okay. All right. This segment was brought to you by Go to State Lumber, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit GoToStateLumber.com. If you want to call in and freak out about Nick Bosa, 888-957-9570.
I don't even think it's freaking out. It's just literally saying, where's the best player on the defense?
Do the Niners have money in escrow? What do you think, Shasky? What do you think?
I don't know what to think.
This team has paid everybody they've wanted. And you don't believe they're going to pay Nick Bosa? It could be years. It could be language. Who knows?
I mean, what?
Oh my God!
He wants 14 years, and they only want to sign him to 3.
Yeah, he wants 14 years. They're going to give him 14 years.
No, I'm just saying, like we're acting like they're years off.
You're smarter than this.
But I know, but the way the league works is you can cut anyone at any time. So this is clearly about guaranteed money. Like that's what it comes down to. Okay. This is about guaranteed money. That's usually what these people argue.
So the Niners are broke and they don't have the money.
No, you're not listening. What I'm saying is that
I am listening, and I think you're ridiculous right now. I think you're being ridiculous on this Nick Bosa deal. That not all of a sudden the Niners are claiming to be broke. I understand you don't believe they have the money in escrow.
No, I'm saying they're fighting clearly over guaranteed money.
Now you're mad because the negotiations are public because there's not any talking points. They haven't leaked anything, and that bothers you. The agent hasn't said anything, and that bothers you. When on the flip side, Don Yee was talking all this stuff, and you couldn't stand Don Yee. So which one is it? I don't know. Which one is it?
Don Yee was trying to get guaranteed money on the Jimmy G injury front because they were trying to protect themselves. When he passed the physical, then he could have been released. These usually come down to, in the NFL, guaranteed money.
Okay. And the Niners don't have that? Nick Bosa's not going to be there week 1? I was trying to talk positives, but here we go. Whatever's coming up, brought to you by AC Transit.